Can we say the Atlanta Hawks went off tonight? And I know the end of the score game might have not show how one-sided this game was at one point, but I think this is something very good for the Atlanta Hawks moving forward, even though it was a game against a depleted Sixer squad who only had 8 men on the court. But I think this shows something more. So let's hop in. I want to hear down below, what do you guys think of this game? Do you think it meant a lot to the Hawks? And let's talk about it. So part of the reason why I think this game meant a lot is they had to win this game to, I know it's early in the season and it's not going to change things, but morale is a big thing. I think morale is a huge factor for a team, and wins like this where we knew they were going to go in and win this game probably because they were playing a depleted squad, but it's a game where everyone was firing on all cylinders. Yes, Trey Young was the leading scorer, but they had 6 guys who scored double digits. And I think, first off, we want to go into a deep dive of Trey Young's game, and what we learned from that is that Trey Young is a guy who's continuing to develop into one of the premier point guards in the league. And I don't think anybody can doubt that Trey Young in probably 5 years will be viewed as a top 5 player in the league. Or not top 5. I take top 15. All right, top 5. Top 5 might be a bit much. Top 15. I think he could be a top 3 point guard for sure in his prime. And I don't think I'm over exaggerating right there. He shot for 3 for 7 last night, and he had been in a 3-game cold streak that started with back-to-back 0 for 3 and 0 for 5, 3 from 3. But he continues to be the passer that we've seen him be since he's came into the league. And since he's came into the league, you guys probably know this if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, he's averaged at least 8 assists a game. And the thing is the Atlanta Hawks continue to, get through injuries. Like, they just lost Bogdanovich, who's probably going to be out for a lot, and a lot of time. He might be out till like close to the playoffs or till the end of the season, just because a fractured knee is pretty bad. But one thing I want to talk about is the Atlanta Hawks, by the third quarter specifically, shot 50% from 3. And the Hawks went on a run and outscored the Sixers by 17 points heading into the final period. And I think that was a big part of the game, that they were when this team is firing on all cylinders, they hit every shot and don't miss. Like, they are one of the most destructive teams with their shooting ability. And with that being said, it's not that it's only when 1 or 2 of their players are hot. They have guys that, if Trey Young is having an off night, Deandre Hunter could pick up the shooting. John Collins can pick up the shooting. Cam Reddish can pick up the shooting. Kevin Huerter can pick up the shooting. Brandon Goodwin is showing that he can pick up the shooting. Solomon Hill has continued showing since last season that his 3-point shot is there. And, people could say that, people could argue with me that Solomon Hill isn't that great of a player. But ever since he got off of that massive contract that I think is why people thought he was a terrible player, because he was getting paid too much, he's a serviceable role player for a team. And John Collins' numbers have gone down because Clint Capela is taking more touches in the pick and roll game. And I don't think that's a game changer, but definitely if you are a fan of John Collins, you're going to see that it's going to be like a hard time for John Collins to be consistently averaging the numbers that he started the year off with. And I think all in all, the Hawks have a team that can go to the playoffs. And the problem with this team, that in my opinion is that when they get hot, they're really hot. And when they get cold, they're really cold. And I've said this in the last video. And I think this team's going to go on a stretch right here, win a few games, and then they'll fall back down to earth. But the biggest question with this team is who's going to be filling in Bogdanovich's role in the offense. And tonight, I think we saw who's going to be picking it up potentially off the bench is Brandon Goodwin. And we'd hope Kevin Huerter would be that one of those guys too. Kevin Huerter, who had a strong start to the year, but I think it's going to be a mixture of Kevin Huerter, Brandon Goodwin, and obviously Daniel Gallinari when he comes back. But I think this team has a lot of depth and a lot of players that when you watch them, it's interesting to see because they can really get past a team. So people who I think are probably most impressed by in this game is, I think, Clint Capela's ability to grab offensive rebounds, which enabled them to get second chance opportunities to shoot another three-pointer. But it's also, I think, Brandon Goodwin, the player that he's been playing as the past couple games. Sorry, the NFL games are over weeks while the NBA games are over days. So for a guy, his second year in Atlanta, he's shooting right now 33%. But if we look over the last couple games for this guy, he's actually playing pretty decent, and he's been actually showing the ability to be a secondary ball handler for the team at times, especially when he's running with the bench. And a guy who can occasionally get you a steal and points in the transition game very effectively, showing that he's an athletic guy and that he's carving out a nice little spot for himself in the league. And, it's always nice to see guys like that. But Deandre Hunter is looking one of the premier two-way threats in the NBA. He's a guy who's averaging 16.5 points per game, about 7 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game. And he's putting that up with about a block and a half and half a block and half a steal game. So it's good to see that this team is coming together, and, there is potential for them to be really good moving forward. It's just, like I said, this team just gets hot and it's cold. And I know people have told me that Lloyd Pierce might not be the best coach, because he doesn't draw up plays, which I could actually agree with. That's actually kind of a problem, because this is a team that should be drawing up plays. From how many shooters and scores they have, it's just something that they should be doing, in my opinion. But yep, that's pretty much it for me today, guys. I'm just going to wrap this video up, get it to 8 minutes, but I hope you guys do really have a great day, because, I've had a good one. And thank you for the support on the channel lately, guys. But that's it for me today, guys. I hope you guys really do have a great day. Go check out my other videos that I'll be uploading tonight. But that's pretty much it from me tonight. Hope you guys do have a great day, because I know I will. Till next time, guys. Puppies. Ooh.